Welcome back to UMass Sports Weekly, and we're here to talk about the UMass field hockey team. But first, we'll take a look at the highlights against the game against Northeastern.
On Sunday, in-state rival Northeastern came to visit the Minutewomen in a field hockey match. There wasn't much action in the first half, but here UMass has a penalty. The ball goes to Brooke Sabia. She shoots. Becky Garner makes one save. Becky Garner makes two saves, and Becky Garner makes a third save, keeping the Minutewomen out of the goal. Fast forward to the second half. Northeastern breaks the ice with a goal from Emma Lamison on a rebound from goalie Sam Carolino. Ball couldn't be covered up, and Northeastern puts it away to go up 1-0. Not long after, UMass gets on the board on a penalty corner. When the ball is sent in, Becky Garner makes the first save, but Lauren Ali Muhammad cleans up the trash and ties the score at 1-1. With overtime rearing its ugly head, Emma Lamison dekes through one defender, dekes through two, and she puts it right through the legs of Sam Carlino to give the Huskies the victory over UMass 2-1.
Welcome back, and I'm here with Jake Liberty and Tommy Calautti. Thank you, Tommy, for that video from covering the game against Northeastern. But first, we're going to talk about the game before that, and that was the game against UConn, where we lost 2-0, another loss for the Minutewomen. Jake, Liberty, man, give us a little highlights of that game.
Loss 2-0 against UConn. Although UConn's ranked number 5, which is a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
Still, it can't happen. We just keep losing. I don't care if it's the number 1. I don't care if it's the last team, the worst field hockey team in college. You can't keep losing. We need a drive, and we didn't get it. They took the lead in the 17th minute, unassisted, after 8 penalty corners. 8 penalty corners. That is not acceptable if you're looking to win the game.
Agreed.
8 in a row. Unbelievable. You're not going to win games with that penalties. Defense, very questionable. Overall, not what you wanted to see in the team. Although, one of my favorites, Sam Carlino, did have 10 saves on the game, making it her 4th game as a Minutewoman with 10 or more saves.
Wow.
So that's a positive to take out.
We do have one positive out of the 2-0 loss against UConn. Now, Tommy, you were at the game against Northeastern, and that was a 2-1 loss. I know the Minutewomen outshot Northeastern, which was a positive thing to see, as we have not seen much offense as of late. So give me a little more analysis from that game that we didn't see in the package.
Well, Chris, what I take away from UMass versus Northeastern is another game where the Minutewomen struggled mightily on offense. I mean, they outshot Northeastern 17-9, and they outcornered them 9-3. UMass was all over Northeastern, and what ended up killing them was the transition game. UMass would go on a complete assault, just barraging the goalie with shots, and then Northeastern would just send the ball upfield and have Emma Lamison, who scored both goals for Northeastern, go one-on-one against a defender and score against Sam Carlino. This team cannot score, and it is really starting to concern me.
Well, Tommy, the one positive I take from that game is Lauren Ali Muhammad, who has 2 goals this year, and she had a goal in that game, the lone goal for the Minutewomen. Offense is a problem this year, guys. As we said, Liberty, what can we do about this offense? Is transition offense the problem?
I believe so. I mean, like Tommy just said, they're running down the field as soon as they get the ball. They're not really setting up. Against UConn, they were outshot 17-6. Against Northeastern, 17-9. That's not what you want to see, and that's what they're producing. They need to get their offense in order. They need to straighten up, and they just need to start getting shots on net. That's what's going to win them the game, is at least getting shots.
So the question is, if we don't have offense, is our defense good enough to kind of neutralize the bad offense? Now, Tommy, tell me a little bit about our defense.
Well, our defense, the 2 anchors are senior Lauren Ali Muhammad, and then we have freshman Melanie Krusch. Now, from what I saw in the game, she is a very talented defender. She held her own against a lot of bigger, stronger girls, and she was very good anchoring the D with Ali Muhammad. But my issue is, whenever UMass got into a situation with penalty corners, they seemed a little frazzled whenever it came to defending those. A lot of running around, a lot of one-on-one defending, just trying to whack the ball out of their zone without any kind of structure. So I feel like they're just kind of trying to wreak havoc in their own zone without any actual plan, and that does trouble me on defense.
Now we have troubles on defense. The other position to look at is goalkeeper. So Sam Carlino in net, you touched upon her before. How do you feel about her performance so far this season, Jake?
I've been nothing but satisfied with her performance. She's been consistent in the games with save after save after save. Whether it's 6 or 10 or 20, she's doing her job. There's obviously some goals that goalies will let in that they regret and that it's definitely on them. But I think right now it's their defense. Though Krush and Ali Mohammed are anchoring it, it's just there's no sense of passion in the defense, no sense of really order, and it's just kind of get the ball. They need to settle down just with their offense. They just need to slow it down and work on just getting the ball out of their end.
Now, Tommy, how do you feel about Carlino?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with my good friend here. Sam Carlino, she's been a solid goaltender, but in my opinion, when you're a goalie, you have to be able to steal some games. And she hasn't been able to do that. She, like Jake brought up, she did great against UConn. She did great in a loss. And, it's nice, it's a nice moral victory, but that's not good enough. Against Northeastern, a far worse team, just to be quite frank, she gave up 2 goals, and if you saw from the package, that last goal just kind of squeaked through her legs. I mean, you can kind of blame the defense. Lamison got into a scoring position, but Carlino has to save that. And like I said before, goalies have to be able to steal games for you, and she hasn't been doing that.
Okay, so what I take from you guys is we need improvement on offense, defense, and in goal. But luckily for the Minutewomen, their A-10 schedule starts this upcoming week with a game against Richmond and then a game against VCU. So we'll see how the Minutewomen fare this weekend as their A-10 schedule begins. Maybe a clean slate. That's what we're hoping for, guys.
We hope so.
Thank you, and we'll be back in a little bit with some men's soccer.